guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Heather. I'm a queer author of dark fantasy and supernatural horror, and this is my channel when I talk about my reading and writing journey. And today's video is going to be about selecting categories and keywords for novels. If you're looking at self-publishing, the first book is The Cursed Cove. Is available for pre-order on Amazon. Put the link for that down in the comments if you'd like to go pre-order it. But without further ado, these are my top 5 tips on how to go about selecting keywords and categories for your novel. Tip 1 is, obviously you've written your novel or your story or whatever you're trying to categorize and use keywords for. So you know that is part of your keywords and categories. Let's use an example. These are both fantasy books. So I've got Malice by Heather Walter and House of Breath, Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. They're both technically adult fantasies, but you'd find them in different parts of that category. This is a sapphic retelling, while this is a urban fae werewolf sort of story. This has fae in it as well, actually. Fae, vampires, werewolf, sort of urban fantasy vibes. This has sort of an epic fantasy story. You talk about the vibes of your book. So you can go, so that's my second, is actually talking about the keywords of what sort of creatures or vibe does your book have. If it's set in a city, then it may be an urban fantasy, while if it's set in a kingdom in the Middle Ages, it's a medieval fantasy. So already you've gone from fantasy down a step. And also age category, whether you're a middle grade, adult, young adult, new adult, if you are doing self-publishing. So that's my second and third tip, kind of together, is the age group that you're targeting is part of your categories and your keywords, as along with the sort of the setting of your story to help with marketing. And then tropes being my fourth, is what sort of strong tropes do you have in your story. Cursed Cove, is a sort of paranormal, dark mystery because someone goes missing with some romance in it. So these are all sort of categories you can, keywords to put in. And then finally, you've got to think about books that you would like. Like, if you liked this, then you might like this sort of vibe of your book. So I actually have 3 books that I quite often picture Cursed Cove and Keepers of Devil's Bay kind of slipping into. And one of them is Wilder Girls by Rory Power, Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand, and Harrow Lake by Kat Hollis, I believe is the author of that one. And I use booklink.com, and you actually can go onto Amazon, the US ISBN, put it in, and it will actually pull all the categories that book fits into. So I have done that with those 3 books, and I've come up with a list of categories that book actually sits in. So then it goes right down a variety, but your keywords will put you into a lot more on Amazon, such as, let's use Wilder Girls as an example. So it's one of the categories it does fit into is teen young adult fiction, literature and fiction for young adults, action adventure for young adults, and then survival stories for young adults. So it's gone from your age bracket to a genre down to a sub-genre. So you can get really quite little intricate. This one, it does rank in total, which is Kindle Store, Kindle ebook, teen young adult ebooks, teen and young adult literature and fiction, teen YA social and family issue fiction book, teen young adult book, fiction book on girls and women's issues. So that's gone right down into a real specific thing, and that's a different way of ranking. Sorry, my bookmark fell out. Ranking yourself into some really interesting and thought-provoking categories. 5 tips on how to sort of start looking for keywords and categories for your books. If you have found this interesting and helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, because I post videos every Wednesday about reading and writing. And until next time, let's use our voices to promote positive change in the world. Thank you and goodbye for now!